Okay, hi Cancers, and welcome to your August 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about the really incredible, potentially life-changing month of August. You, Cancer, are the final sign of the month. I started with Leo as it is Leo season, and I'm concluding with Cancer. So I'm really happy to be with you, and I'm really happy to be closing out my work on the month of August with your sign. So let's talk about some incredible general intuitive messages for the sign of Cancer, as well as a week-to-week tarot forecast and an extended reading on Patreon, which will be linked below. Okay, so Cancers, it is really benevolent, some of the timing that you have right here and right now. It feels like you are just coming into people's lives at the right moment, or even people can come into your lives at the exact right moment. Seven of Cups, Four of Wands, the Moon. It's like you have a certain glamour or a certain attractiveness that really creates an air of celebration and an air of good timing in general. So that is a wonderful benevolence that I feel is just completely being exuded from most Cancer people right now. Let's talk about the sort of edge of this, though. There is a bit of a volatility. There is something that's like, you get alerted of really incredible news and really wonderful experience, and it's followed by like a dip and maybe a confrontation or a conflict, kind of a very polarized present experience. That Five of Wands reversed, Seven of Wands, Seven of Cups, the Moon, though still having the Four of Wands and the Page of Wands as well. So I feel that the underlying polarity in the experience of a Cancer does need to be addressed in August. And I think that to a degree, if you are experiencing a lot of polarity, indecisiveness, volatility in the people around you, or just unpredictable things, kind of Uranian energy, if you're in a Centaurus, maybe is really transiting your chart in some way, it seems like it's almost necessary, or it's like the labor pains of moving through this time, or of generating a new path, of creating a new, persona, or a new, truer version. It's like you're in a self-creating mode, like you're really creating your self now, or you're not trying to imprint yourself in the way of others or trying to be who someone else is, but rather you are creating yourself, being who you really are now. And it's like, to really get that formula, to really get that code back, there can be a bit of polarity and volatility that manifests to direct you in the right way. So knowing something for what it really is, seeing how someone maybe caused you a lot of harm in the past, though they did not mean to, like seeing how things can be like that, like how harm can come from a situation without deliberate thought. But then you kind of ask another question on top of that. It's like, just because someone didn't deliberately hurt me, like, that doesn't, of course, make it okay. But is it actually true that it wasn't deliberate? Was there some type of like universal, input in this that created so much difficulty or trauma from something that was not meant? Okay, so it seems like you are questioning the intentions of other people, or you're questioning how someone can't see things your way, or you're questioning how someone else can miss the forest for the trees. Like you could, be renovating a house with someone, and there's something like, the pipes are totally bust, they're totally gone. And the person's like, but I renovated the roof of this house and I deserve credit for that. And you're like, well, yeah, but like the water doesn't even work. And they're like, why aren't you crediting me for the roof that I built? Like there's something that's totally just not connecting or not communicating as well in the Cancer energy. And this can be within as well. Like you can get distracted by things. It's like if you built the roof of a house yourself, you might also want to be praised for it. And even though the plumbing wasn't done right, you might not like to have someone come in and be like, how dare you not do the plumbing? Like that could also become something that you might then like never see that person the same way again afterward too. though you are in that other position. You're not in that really building place. You are in the position of the person questioning. So there's kind of a weird like role-playing mechanism coming in here where it's like you really do have to maybe not cry over spilled milk, okay? You do have to understand what has been done. And yeah, maybe the plumbing is not great in the house, and maybe that's something that now you have to handle, okay? So the only room for error in the month of August is becoming inquisitive or becoming mean, okay, to someone for what they haven't done or even what they did to you before. It's very difficult to get hyper-focused on those things, all right? What is best for this month is to celebrate the progress that has happened, to celebrate how the energy is opening up and airing out, to know that, yes, maybe there is still some more to do on whatever situation you're involved in, but how great it is that you also know. Like, I feel that some Cancers who weren't prudent maybe don't even know that the plumbing situation is out of whack, using that previous hypothetical example. Like, if like some Cancers just kind of obliviously moved away from that and like all those problems are still there and they don't even know. But if you're a Cancer who's kind of identified a problem, rather than getting upset about that, let's really try to rise to the occasion and let's try to fix it instead of creating verbal arguments, okay? So really, if I were a Cancer, I do have quite a bit of Cancer actually, if I were there, I would hold space for the power of my words. If I were a Cancer, like, wow, I really could make this all go south, or I could really create a lot of headache and hassle for people just with my words alone without even any, changes made to the situation that is being focused on. So it feels like you got to really use that to your advantage, like really build people up, really be like, wow, I'm so proud of what you did. I'm so proud of how this situation actually turned out. Maybe there's a phone call to be made here. Maybe there is even like amends to be made or apologies either from you or to you. So it could go the other way too. Like someone who talked down to you could call you during this time and be like, I'm so sorry, I did not understand where I was at. I think that a lot of us are there with Cancer people. It's like, I am so sorry for not being able to control my words. I am so sorry for how I did not understand your needs at that time. Like there's a lot of that could happen to you too, which is a really nice sort of closure or payback of karma for Cancer. And even like knowing it, even if you don't get that, like knowing that there are probably a lot of people who are wishing that they could give back to you or wishing that they could say it, but they're like not able to. I do feel that is a strong energetic precedent for Cancer as well. Like people who wish that they could like gift you something, or people who wish that they could help you in some way, but also there's something inaccessible as well. So that I would pay attention to that as well as a Cancer person. Like, is there a long list of people who wish that they could help me, though I have built a wall and that help will not be received by me due to how I have blocked myself away and pulled myself away from, I don't know, helping hands of any kind. I would look out for overtly fierce independence that burgeons on isolation from the rest of people, because there's something about like getting karma back, and that can come directly from people that maybe you don't even realize. Like, I don't know, someone could be like, let me, I don't know, foot your tuition bill. Like, I am now doing well and I want to see you do well. Like, there are people who would really be very supportive if given the opportunity, though you also have to know who you don't want in your life as well. Like, it's not saying just like open the gates to like every single person. There are some people that I feel like those walls are built for a reason, but be very aware, Cancer, anybody with Cancerian placements right now, of isolating yourself in bitterness, okay? Because there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Boxy rooms is all that's there. So anyway, once a Cancer has come out of any type of bitter isolation, any like, reversed hermit energy, there is only celebration. And, there might some things that you have to go through. You got papers to do, you got taxes to do, you got, like correspondences to have, you got conversations, phone calls to have. And that can that's like what puts Cancer off. It's like, I don't want to introduce that kind of flux into my life, but it feels like it's needed. There's a needed flux right here. Five of Wands reversed. You're maybe repressing some type of energy that really needs channeled. Also, there's a fear of being ganged up on, or like people like teaming up against you, and you're like, I'd rather just be alone. I'd rather just box myself in here. So anyway, Cancer, above it all, it feels like way more people want to help you, and way more people want to, I don't know, like even things out and make things good than there are people who want to create problems for you. So a thought that everybody wants to create problems for you, or a feeling that adversity exists everywhere outside of your house, is the enemy of the good right now. So anyway, let's talk about your week to week. Week number 1, you've got Four of Wands rooted down by Page of Wands. I think the first week of August is magic for you. I think there's nothing but good stuff there. I mean, I'm seeing engagements, weddings. I'm seeing birthday celebrations as well. Could be late birthday celebrations for some Cancers. I'm seeing the benefit of like gifts that come late. Okay, I'm seeing new creative ideas, new books, new projects, new businesses coming right up and being placed right on your lap. If that door is open, if you've allowed things to come into your life. And what does it mean to allow things to come into your life? Like, how do you know? Like, I don't know, like whether I'm open to things or not. Have you allowed yourself to give yourself what you need? Have you allowed yourself to be up to date on like taxes? Have you allowed yourself to open the secrets up? Or have you allowed yourself to have that phone call? You know, like if you're allowing Creator, okay, to make choices for you and not being totally 100% in control of your own life, things are going to start coming in. Okay, good karma. There is good karma in the first week. I mean, regardless of what you do, even if you're just like holed up at home and you're like, I just want my own island here, it feels like even that will reward you in some way. So like, the delivery food that you order might be extra tasty right now. The games that you play from the couch might be really, really healing to you in some ways. So that's lovely as well. Week 2, you've got Seven of Wands rooted down by Seven of Cups. 2 sevens, it's Discord. So this channel is on Discord as well. Do check below in the description box. It's a great community over there. Anyway, so, but not Discord as in the chat server, like Discord as in, things get kind of shaken up. So you're like, okay, these are my options. I've got like 7 different options, 7 different ways I could go, and also maybe like 7 different people that I can't get off my mind, or 7 different people who have like really had a certain cumulative impact on my life, and I don't want to face any of that. I'm seeing some Cancers being like, I just want safety. I just want normal days that pass normally. Like it's kind of like old people, like elderly stuff. Like I want to be retired. I want the comfort of my own home. I want to cook my own food and have that as my day. That's kind of what your second week is like too, except it gives you the exact opposite. Like people like are right on your doorstep. They're like knocking your door. They're like, help, I need money or something. or there could be like your phone's ringing and you're like, oh my God, is that person really calling me? It could be like, even at work, you could like be stocking the shelves or something, and you like look up and like that whole group of people is just like watching, like it's like creepy stuff like that. Like, I don't like it. But to a degree, there's some amount of illusion. Maybe they weren't watching. Maybe they were actually, maybe like you were right by the window and there was like, I don't know, a parade of like circus people going by in like platform shoes, and their eyesight was like right above you looking out the window, but you saw them and you thought they were looking at you. That kind of stuff happens all the time with Seven of Cups. Like they were never actually looking at you. Okay. But maybe it's like something that you base like your karmic experience on for like 5 years later, and you have like flashbacks and you're like, that day that everyone looked at me, I knew that there was a weird energy in my life and someone put like an evil eye on me. But it's like totally like a delusion of some kind, because they weren't actually looking at you. So I would see those cycles as well for what they are. Week 3, you have the Five of Wands reversed, rooted down by Knight of Cups reversed. Nobody really cares, and this is your biggest weapon right now. Actually, there are probably like 2 or 3 people who really, really care about you. And these are like really good people. But especially people that you don't know too well, or like even like family relationships that have gone sour. While they may care about you as a person, like these things that you might be thinking about, like, oh my gosh, like these people want to fight with me about this and that subject. Like I know if I talk to that person, they're going to like say this, and that. They don't care about that stuff. Like none of it's like really what you think. Like you got to kind of get out of analysis paralysis and maybe just face some of this stuff. Okay. And see if you are right to like maybe write it down. Like I predict when I talk to this person, or I predict when I put in my notice for this job, or I predict when I confront my coworkers about watching me stocking the shelves and not working as well, that it's going to be this, and that. And then that confrontation happens and they're like, wait, you were working that day? There was a beautiful circus outside. You never saw it, but that was you. Okay. And then but then awkwardness really does potentially come from things like that too. But it's just good for you to test your own like thoughts about things versus like how they really are. As someone with a lot of cancer myself, I have seen that has greatly healed my energy to like actually ask questions, or to actually face things like, you might think that you were the love of someone's life, and then a few years after that breakup, you talk to them, and it's kind of like, I never really enjoyed that relationship. And it kind of like shatters your previous ideas. And that's hard. Like, I really don't like that. And also what you can have, like I've had this before too, it's like, just because someone doesn't like you now, they forget the good things as well. Like those never happened either. And I really think that that's something that is bad karmically. Like if you've been through that, you know what it's like, where in that moment, all those years ago, you really were everything to that person. But because that's not how it is now, those memories also disappear. And that is something that is a coping mechanism for both parties in a way. Because for them, like maybe they can't really comprehend life without you. And so they have to like delete it just to get through. And then also for you, that becomes like an elevation process. Like they forgot me and I gave everything to them. And now I know that like I want to like be the CEO of a company. Like there could be something like that as well. I mean, it's kind of funny, but like it's crazy how like 2 + 7 can equal like 5,946 with all these like inflated results right now. Energetically. It has been a long day of readings, Cancer. I hope that you enjoy this. There's a bit of humor here in this reading, There is. And also, like, it really starts to define your nature as well, the month of August. First week, especially, and second week. Those two really define you. And then in the third week, you have kind of a new way of defining. You have a conflict solving that needs to happen there, okay? And I can kind of say, Cancer, that this is not kind of a sing-songy type of conflict solving, like we could and could not do it. Like it's kind of cute, like there's something that I think is like at a boiling point in the third week of August. And you don't want to push this stuff down, okay? You don't just want to hit the delay button. It's kind of like having a huge credit card debt or something, and you're like, ugh, just make the minimum payments. Who cares? And then like 5 years, you just set up those auto payments on minimum. And then like 5 years later, you look back at the balance and it's like 800 times the amount it used to be. Like that's what happens emotionally if we build those walls and we choose not to look at things. So we got to look at it in the third week. I think whatever is evocative of like repression for you, like I'm not going to look at this, I'm not going to feel these feelings, I'm not going to pay that, like anything like that, I'm not going to file those taxes, like that snowballs. And in this current paradigm, like you've probably seen it with like the markets and with currency and stuff, but like the inflation and the way that things really do drive up value right now can just go off the charts. So, and we don't even know the half of it yet. Like by the end of this year, we're going to see what that's really like. So it's not just money. It's not just markets. It's not just economy. It's also emotions. It's also memories. It's also choices. It's significance of previous bonds with people. Like these things can kind of be tough to deal with right now, but also timely, as they seem much more inconvenient down the road. And they also seem inevitable, so why wouldn't we do it now? Is kind of how I'm feeling this energetically. Like if it's inevitable and we know it's going to be tougher down the road, though we have the freedom to delay this or to put this off, I think that in general, it's good to face stuff, but like you want to also not feel threatened by what you have to do too. So it's like autonomy. So, yeah, the rose colored glasses thing is not going to do it. Like, there's no rose colored glasses anymore by the end of August. Like, there's no like pretending about much. There is only truth. And for some people, it's so great. Like, I'm seeing some cancers like have upgraded their lives so much by the end of August that they don't even have to do rose colored glasses. Like, their life is just rose colored. Like, that could be for a few responsible cancers. Like, you've already totally overcome the previous difficulty, and like through the month of August you like maybe even took a little bit of a risk or a little bit of a chance, and now the life that you're living is just immaculate. For other cancers, it's like I can't ignore this anymore. I can't overcome the way that person treated me. I can't forgive this. I'm seeing some cancers really not being able to forgive. And I'm also seeing some cancers not being able to exaggerate either. So it could be on either end of that extreme. Like, on one hand, it's like maybe it's you just over and over again, you get mistreated by someone, and it's like, I am done. I can't keep forgiving this. And also, on the other hand, there's a like false memory issue as well, where it's like, okay, I can't keep accusing that person of that. That never happened. Like, I can't keep making this narrative like this is all for me to motivate and catalyze, and I don't need that other person to be in charge of that karmically, so I need to like pull this away. It could be on either end, like the moon. This is all like moon territory stuff, where it's like, you'd be crazy how prevalent this is for a lot of people, where the past or difficult or great situations, any type of extreme emotion situation, can be made something that it was not in order to catalyze greater change. And it's not always so bad either. Like, we need to use emotions in wise ways, and why not allow emotions to better our lives? But it becomes bad karma if you make someone out in your mind to be someone that they were not before, or making people out to be something that they never were starts to catalyze falls. Okay, so it's just really great to honest it up, and I think that most cancers are already there, but it felt like it needed to be said, not just for cancers, but being on the other side of it as well. Like, if you're getting a huge ascension, that could be also what's happening. Like, people maybe were tending to like overblame you for something, or people were really like nitpicking you, and it's like, now you're doing so well because of that, and there's no real story for it. It's just time to start, or time to continue doing so well. But fourth week of August, end of August, you want to really just like see things for what they are and decide whether that's how you want to continue or not. Because you've got that leverage, or you've got that choice to like, for the rest of your life, do this or that, or change it and pivot, okay? That choice is there in the fourth week. And we have to have a really clear, truthful gaze about us in order to make those decisions well. So let's look more into some of those decisions. Cancer in your extended reading, last extended reading of the month. We will be over on Patreon, and we'll make it fun. We'll have it, we'll really get conversational and get a little personal over on Patreon. I like to do that. But anyway, everyone, be sure to check it out. I do bonus weekly forecasts every Saturday on Patreon. I do these readings early, ad-free, and extended over there every month, and your subscription gets all of that content. So it's a great way to help support the channel and a way to get a lot of bonus content. So meet me over there for your extended reading. It'll be in the center of your screen and linked below. Much love, Cancers. Bye.